Hey guys, my name's Alanna and I hate Hallmark movies. They are terrible movies, but I love them. Even if you don't necessarily watch Hallmark movies, but you love bad movies, you are in the right place. Have a seat and get cozy. Today I'm recapping Love at First Glance from 2017. This is a weird one in that almost the entire story is told through reminiscing and like flashbacks. And even though we have some really recognizable characters, I would say almost every character in this movie that has like multiple lines, you will recognize. And yet it is one of the most cringe movies I've seen in a long time. I do just have a little bit of a channel announcement. You can skip this if you like. I'll keep it brief. I am so sweaty. I live in England and we are currently in the middle of a heat wave and the Brits don't believe in air conditioning. So I am so sweaty. It's 9 a.m. and I want to say it's like 29 degrees in here. So I'm just gonna sweat it out. Please disregard that. I've got the windows closed because it's really loud outside. I've turned off all my fans. I'm just gonna sweat it out. I really want to share this movie with you. It's absolutely insane. So disregard the sweatiness, okay? And with that in mind, please enjoy one of the most uncomfortable movies I have seen in a hot minute. Pun not intended. We start off with, you guessed it, royalty-free footage of a big city and this fucking song. Please listen. We hear this one song over and over and over again through this entire movie. Like musical torture. Guantanamo could never. We see our girl Amy Smart, in case you recognize her. Amy tries, but it's not great. She's waiting around this building until she confronts this man, and we learn a couple of things. He is an editor at a competing newspaper. Our girl's name is Mary, and she is a journalist at a different paper. Mary asks him if he's read her latest investigative piece about squirrels. Yes, squirrels. He's annoyed with her. It's clear that she's like trying to get a job at his paper, but nothing comes of this interaction. Love that.
I'd love to come talk to you about some articles I'm thinking about.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks, sir. Have a great day. Well, at least he knows who I am.
There's that fucking song again. Back at her paper, she's complaining to her coworker, like fellow journalist, that she's really annoyed about what she's had to write about. Like, it's not enough. You know, I want more. I want to write things that are meaningful and important.
Besides, I thought you were going to talk to Jack Kramer over at the Gazette.
I did.
And?
Let's just say he's not overly impressed with my investigative reporting on chipmunks.
Pause. Many years ago, I was a journalist at a paper, all right? I was a reporter. You are tasked with finding your own stories. So like, the only time I would be given a story if something happened in the community or locally that needed to be covered, but otherwise it was up to you, like part of your job is to go out and find stories. Bitch is choosing to write about squirrels. I have no sympathy. Coworker girly is like, you know what? Let's go out, let's get margaritas, let's go dancing. And I'm like, hell yeah. But Mary says no, she's going out to dinner with boyfriend Carl because apparently he has something he wants to tell her. Naturally, the coworker is like, oh my God, he's gonna propose. How exciting. But all of my Hallmark girlies know exactly what's gonna happen, so go ahead and keep that up here. Her editor slash boss man slash diabetes man brings her into his office and he's given her an assignment for Valentine's Day. He wants her to write an article about the meaning of love. Yes.
You want me to write about the true meaning of love?
In 3,000 words.
But Wally,
Go on, I know you have it in you. Make it special.
Hey.
There's that fucking song again. Later that night, she's out to dinner with Carl and she orders dinner like on behalf of them because apparently they get the same thing every time. They get this cheese ravioli. Interesting choice.
Hi, I know what we want. We're gonna get the cheese ravioli, please, and I would love a little bit more water.
Actually, I'm gonna have the chicken risotto and tiramisu for the lady, please. Thank you.
What's going on, Carl?
What do you mean?
You just ordered the chicken risotto. We always get the cheese ravioli.
Yeah, I think I can explain. Look, I want to tell you something that happened last week.
Does this have to do with the chicken risotto?
In a way, yes.
Boyfriend Carl explains that they have this customer that comes in every 3 years and he leases a new family-friendly blue van, right? Like, ooh, boring blue van. But this week, the guy came in and leased a sports car convertible. Carl doesn't see this as a midlife crisis. He views this like, yeah, you know what? Hell yeah, let's go after what we want. Let's get the sports car. And then in the next breath, he dumps Mary, the girlfriend equivalent of a family-friendly blue van.
There has to be more to life than cheese ravioli.
Well, I don't understand, Carl. We've been together for 5 years. You've always loved cheese ravioli.
I'm bored, Mary. I need some excitement in my life.
What are you saying? I'm boring?
No, call me crazy, but I'd like to date someone who didn't know what they want to order without looking at the menu.
Fine, I'll change my order. I'll change, okay? Where's the waitress? I'll have the manicotti.
This is bigger than manicotti. Look, you're a great gal. I just lately have been thinking that I need something different, something less predictable.
Predictable? I just wrote an investigative piece on depressed chipmunks. It's squirrels.
Unrelated, but kind of related, when she talks to the competing editor, she specifically says she wrote an article about squirrels and talks about the squirrels. Then back at the office, when she's complaining to the coworker, she clearly says chipmunks. Now here, talking to Carl, she says both chipmunks, but then corrects herself and says squirrels. It doesn't matter.
Mary, I need someone that when she walks in the room, I get butterflies in my stomach.
But we live in the same building, Carl. Don't you think it would be awkward if we broke up?
Yeah, you're right about that. I think you should move.
Wow. Carl, you know what? Fuck you and your 2017 haircut. Also, why would you break up with someone before the first course? Like, if he knew this is what was gonna happen, why would you do it at dinner? Let's just do this on the sidewalk and be done with it. And actually, this is a Hallmark trope. I need to add these to the bingo cards. This happens all the time where the girlfriend, like our girl, our Hallmark girlie, gets dumped at dinner, like at a fancy restaurant. Why are we doing this? Because then you gotta sit there for the rest of the dinner. Side note real quick, my partner and I have been working on a Hallmark database of all Hallmark movies that have ever existed. I'll put a pinned comment down below, but we're also making bingo cards for every Hallmark movie. So if you wanna check out the bingo card for this movie, pinned comment down below. After the abysmal dinner with Carl, she's depressed eating tiramisu on the train home, and in that moment we are all merry. Random hottie on the train keeps looking over to her and they have this kind of cutesy moment, but it's largely because she has tiramisu on her face, and in that moment we are all merry. Normally when you make eye contact with a man on a train, he takes his penis out. So this is a pleasant alternative. This, of course, is our boy from Entourage. I don't know if you guys ever watched it. I personally didn't. Apparently this is not his only Hallmark movie, so we will probably see this man again sometime soon. But I wonder how he feels from going from Entourage, like an insanely popular series, and I think it had a movie itself, to now doing Hallmark movies. It's gotta sting. Without actually like speaking to each other, he gets off the train and mistakenly leaves behind his cell phone. A modern day Cinderella. She then gets the phone. He's like disappeared, so she can't give it back to him. And she goes to like this security station to hand in the phone. And the security guy won't accept it.
Excuse me? I'd like to turn this in.
Lost property, form F2108.
It's not a lost property. I found this phone and I just want to give it back.
No, we don't have a form for that.
What do you mean?
Look, lady, I work for the transit system. People don't just turn property in around here.
Well, what is all that stuff?
Every night we clean the train cars. And every night we find phones, keys, baby bottles, you name it. What can I say? It all ends up here.
So just add the phone to the pile of random shit that gets collected off the train. I do not get this, quite simply because it doesn't make sense. But we need this to happen because the entire plot is our girl decides she's going to find random train hottie to give him back his phone. Back at home, a random man, aka we learn her best friend, just like enters her apartment.
Carl broke up with me.
Yes! I mean, no, that is so bad. Man.
I hated him.
I don't hate him, I think you can do better.
This guy looked so familiar to me. Like I couldn't think of like, was he in another Hallmark movie that we watched? Who is this man? Can you guess? I'll give you 5 seconds. I can't wait 5 seconds. It's too hot in here. This is hottie teenage Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls. Incredible! Best friend and Victor says all of the right things. He's honestly lovely. I love him. He's great. Mary explains about the random train hottie and that she wants to give him his phone back. But damn, there's a phone password.
I just want to find his contact so I can give it back to him. Oh, the security code.
Try 1, 2, 3, 4.
How did you know that?
Because it's everybody's security code.
Right.
It says if you find it, contact James Fielding. He's on South State Street, 555-0127. Give me your phone. Okay.
Hey, it's James. I'm out of the country, so don't leave a message. I will see you after my latest adventure.
My latest adventure? Who is this guy, Marco Polo? I mean, look at him. Look, he dives with sharks. He jumps off cliffs. He runs with the bulls. This is the perfect guy for you.
Number 1, who took all these photos? Because they're very clearly not selfies. Number 2, she reads out like a if you find this phone message that lists his address. Could we not just go to his address and pop his phone in his mailbox? Number 3, I think it goes without saying, but don't ever scroll through somebody's photos, all right? I'm not so worried about the nudes. I'm more worried about people seeing all of the things that I have screenshotted, like to remind myself to do something and then I ultimately never do it and I'm stuck with all these screenshots and I don't even remember what they're for. But it's here she gets her big idea. For her like Valentine's Day article about the meaning of love, she is going to write about random train hottie James and like do a profile on him told entirely from interviews with his loved ones.
What if he turns out to not even be an interesting person? Is that a real lion?
Again, who took that photo? But also, I love the Photoshop. God bless you, 2017. It was a simpler time. Later that night, James starts texting his own phone.
Are you the girl on the train?
He remembers me.
The one with the red shoes eating dessert. Please tell me you were not eating cheesecake in public again.
It was the tiramisu from Nino's Amore. I couldn't resist.
I love Mary. Sometimes. Sometimes she is one of us, you know, crying on the train eating tiramisu, but also, and coming up shortly, there are so many cringe moments with Mary, so you win some, you lose some. Mysterious train hottie James is currently in Paris, and so he's texting her on his international phone. Glad that was cleared up. He's texting her while in Paris and he says he would love to meet her. He's back in town on Valentine's Day, but he does give her permission to contact all his loved ones, like all his contacts in his phone, to write this article. And here we go. But first, Mary visits her parents for her dad's birthday. Mary and Mom have a conversation about Carl dumping her because they've been together for a long time. Obviously, her parents knew about Carl. But honestly, I was so distracted because there's these 3 jars on the counter. One looks like pre-popped popcorn. The other one looks like individually wrapped mints. And then the final one is like some sort of red candy. What? Mary explains that Carl dumped her because she's too boring, but she actually kind of agrees with him.
But I'm gonna do something and change that.
Like what?
I'm gonna find a great guy. And then I'm gonna be everything he wants in a girl and more. And we're gonna fall madly in love.
And then what?
What do you mean?
You become the girl that this great guy of yours is looking for. And then what?
Well, we'll live happily ever after.
So this new guy of yours gets the girl of his dreams.
What, Mom? You're doing that nod, you have that look.
It just seems to me that in your happily ever after, you lose
Lose what?
yourself. Who you really are, what you really want, what you really need. To find real love, Mary, you have to love yourself first.
Literally, and I don't mean this sarcastically, even though everything I say ever sounds sarcastic. Literally great advice from Mom here. Let's just end the movie here. Roll the credits. But first, we have to give Dad his birthday cake, and everyone is wearing outdoor shoes, and I fucking hate this. This is a trope that I wish would well and truly die. Next, Mary corners that competing editor again before work.
Good morning, sir.
There's that fucking song again. She pitches him this article that she's gonna write about James, and like, does he want it? Girly, that's not how that works. You're not a freelancer. You can't just like, oh, my editor is giving me this article, but do you want it? Like, it doesn't matter. For the amount of times that Hallmark makes the main girl, like our Hallmark girly, a journalist, it's kind of shocking. They literally never know what that actually is like. You'd think after so many movies with so many reporters, they would do a little bit of research. Least of our worries. Editor man pulls her into the hallway and he shows her his like old headshot and he's like, what do you see in this man? This man has hunger. You have to want it. You have to go after it. You need that hunger.
Does that guy look like he would take no for an answer?
I really want to do this story, sir.
Oh, for crying out loud, Landers. You gotta fight for it.
I really, really want to do this story, sir, and prove to you that I can work at the Gazette.
Jeez Louise, you call that fighting? Go on, get out of here.
Does that mean I can do the story?
Yeah. Go ahead, write it. See where it goes.
Mary's first interview for the profile on mysterious hottie train man James is at a tango studio, and you guessed it, it gets sexually charged and deeply uncomfortable. She's there to interview the like teacher / owner woman, and this woman explains that James first came to the studio as a photojournalist for some reason, but, and I quote, he soon became enchanted with our world.
So what makes James a good dancer?
The tango is a game of allurement. It begins in the eyes, in a glance. The dance epitomizes the dancer's loneliness and secret desires.
Girly, why you gotta talk like that? For some reason, the teacher forces Mary to tango with one of the male instructors, even though she's literally never had a lesson.
Don't think, just feel.
Oh my gosh. gosh, what is happening right now?
Just fall into my arms.
Just so you know, I have a 4:42 train to catch back.
Nothing else matters. Because tonight, we have the tango. Maddie, you are a natural tango dancer.
I know.
Goddess. Powerful, graceful, beautiful.
This hurts. This hurts. Unfortunately, this is not the last of the tango. We do see this at least twice more. But also, how sad is it that she is so sexually repressed that dancing for 45 seconds with this homosexual man is enough to get her going.
Oh. Hey, Carl.
That fucking song, okay? That fucking song has driven me insane, and it's gonna drive you insane too. All right? Let's be insane with Mama. She's telling Victor about the tango lesson and then running into Carl in the elevator, and they sit on the floor. Why? The couch is literally right there. They talk a bit, it's largely pointless, but then we're off on our next interview. Mary is in this strange woman's car with 1,000,000 dogs, and the audio sucks ass.
Boy, you have a lot of dogs.
I know. You like dogs, right?
I never had a pet growing up, so honestly, they scare me a little.
Oh no, they're not gonna hurt you. They're nothing but love. Give me kisses. You give me kisses.
Honey, keep your eyes on the road. The new woman, and honestly, I didn't catch her name. It literally doesn't matter, but she tells us how she knows James through a couple of flashbacks. Basically, she was a waitress at a cafe that he was at one day, and she's terrible at it. She sucks at the job. She's getting people's orders mixed up and whatever. And James, as a customer, sympathizes with her.
Tell me something. Do you know Confucius?
Yeah, he was a regular, and then I gave him a milkshake, so now he goes to the bagel shop down the street.
You're funny.
They think I'm a riot.
No, Confucius said, a man who finds a job that he loves never works a day in his life.
Girlie, when a hottie with blue eyes starts quoting Confucius, you have to run. They have a lengthy conversation about, like, what does she like to do? What does she love? And she mentions that she loves dogs. Okay, great. Then she gets called back to, finish her shift because she's literally at work. After her shift and James is still there for some reason, she announces that she got fired. Big rip. So James whisks her away to this dog training lesson thing. He explains that he had a girlfriend once who needed a dog, and that's how he found this organization or whatever. It's honestly not clear, and it doesn't matter. Back in the car with the really shitty audio, we learn that this mystery woman, I can't remember her name, dated James for a little bit, but it didn't work out, and she says in order to understand James, you have to learn about his previous relationship with Carrie. More on that later.
I can't believe this is all yours.
I couldn't have done it without James.
Also, yes, this woman's name is China. 2017 was a different time. Back at her apartment, she brings home one of China's rescue dogs, not as a foster, but as an actual adopted dog. Thank God that wasn't a rash decision. And what does she name him? Honestly, I could give you 1,000,000 years and you will never guess what this fucking woman names her new dog.
Whose dog is this?
Oh, this is my new dog. Boyfriend.
I feel like you should get an automatic welfare check from the police if you name your dog Boyfriend. This just does not sit right with me.
Boyfriend.
Say hi to Carl, my ex-boyfriend.
Hi. Okay, I'm really confused here because you always said that you hated dogs. When we were together, I always wanted to get a dog, and you would always say, over my dead body.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Big red flag, girly. I literally hate this. We have literally only just started recapping bad Hallmark movies, and already we have had at least 2 that I can think of where the Hallmark girly doesn't like dogs, actively doesn't like dogs, and then adopts a dog as like a spur of the moment decision. I hate this. Then we jump to Mary raking leaves with her dad. He explains how he met the mother, like her mom / his wife. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Literally does not matter, because in the next scene, she's back home in bed texting James in Paris. They're being a bit flirty, but all I could think about was she's getting ready to go to sleep, and James in Paris, it kind of looks like early evening. Girly, that is simply not how time zones work. The next interview about James is this like skydiving instructor guy, and he talks about like, James is so great, James is awesome, James got me out of my comfort zone, and he's such a great guy. And then they jump separately? Okay, no. In what world do you skydive solo on your first jump? A child could have told Hallmark that this is crazy. Then we jump to the next interview with this black woman. She explains that James was a former neighbor and he was wonderful. So he would like help with house repairs. He would bring in the groceries. He loved her young son. Basically, literally the best man that ever existed.
He liked my son, Daniel.
Are we concerned about that or no? She then tells the story about how her son Daniel used to love playing their old little keyboard.
You know, some nights when I had to work late, James would look after Daniel and he would listen to him play this keyboard. He loved it. You know, the truth is, he saw something in my child I didn't even see.
I am simply too jaded for these movies. Why is James in love with this random child?
One day I came home from work and Daniel was sitting at this beautiful piano. It was a gift from James.
This is a hush payment, okay, Daniel? Don't tell your mom. I'm gonna get you this nice piano, but you have to keep our little secret, okay?
What kind of man cares for another's child like that?
That's what I'm asking. We get a flashback of James and the kid Daniel practicing the piano, but honestly, not important. Nothing of value happens here, which I guess you could say about the whole movie. But we do learn that Daniel is now a professional piano player, all thanks to James.
It's just so funny because I don't even know him, but everyone in James's life makes me love him more and more. It's crazy, right?
Not really.
Every day, I just want to hear more about his acts of kindness, his sense of adventure, his total fearlessness.
I got a crazy idea, but let's interview one of James's like lad friends and see what kind of man he really is. We're back at Mary's apartment, and lovely but kind of weird best friend Victor enters her house again, completely unannounced, and hides chocolates for some reason. It's here Mary explains that she's going out of town to interview Carrie, that mysterious previous girlfriend. And then for some reason they share gossip.
Oh, Alan broke up with Sharon.
I heard. The latest bid for the dress on eBay, $38.
And Natalie from accounting is getting married.
You're thinking about Carl.
No. Actually, I'm thinking about what he said when we broke up. He said he wants excitement. He said he wants to feel butterflies in his stomach when the girl of his dreams walks in the room.
Mary, in the last week, you've jumped out of an airplane, danced the night away with some Casanova, and got a dog. Don't you see? You're not the girl that Carl broke up with. You've changed.
I know, but trust me, no matter how much I've changed, nobody's gonna feel butterflies when I walk in a room.
You're the one that needs to feel the butterflies. All that matters is what you feel. And when you feel that crazy stirring inside you, you'll know. You'll know you finally found the right one.
In any normal movie, Victor would 100% be the gay best friend, right? Like, very straightforward. We love that trope. But because this is a Hallmark movie and a lot of the love interests are like kind of gay, I couldn't tell, and I still can't tell, if Victor really is the gay best friend, or he's like in love with Mary and we are gonna get like a love triangle. Honestly, I've seen this movie twice and I don't know. In the Hallmark cinematic universe, literally anything is possible. But then he gives her those hidden chocolates and I'm like, okay, is he in love with her or is this just a nice thing that friends do? I don't know. Moving along, we then meet her next interview.
Thanks for meeting me.
Always happy to help a fellow journalist.
May I?
Please.
Thanks. So you're a journalist, Matthew?
I'm a nurse, but I cover Pee Wee football for the local paper.
Okay, so you're not a journalist. Nurse, aka fake journalist Matthew, unloads a lot of the plot on us, so please bear with me. He works at a brain trauma department thing at the hospital, and that's where he first met James. But before we can get to that story, Matthew explains James' childhood to us, which I don't know why Matthew would know any of this, but we need someone to tell us this so it doesn't matter. We flash back to James as a kid and he's making like a Valentine's Day card thing. His mom's there, his mom's super lovey-dovey, she's wonderful. I don't want to be that person, but I am gonna be that person. This kid does not have blue eyes. Haughty adult James very clearly has blue eyes. You're telling me we couldn't find a kid with blue eyes? It was really that difficult. It's not like the kid's a good actor. No offense.
Mama, will we keep this forever?
Is he too old to be speaking like that, or do I just not really like kids?
Every year on Valentine's Day, we'll put it on the mantle for everybody to see because it is the most beautiful Valentine I have ever seen. And then, when you're all grown up and you fall in love, you can give it to the person you love.
What do you mean?
Well, someday you're gonna fall in love and get married, and you'll have your own traditions, just like we have.
While Dad is working in another room, Mom needs to go out to get milk. Can you see where this is going?
James, I love you forever and ever.
Those words, forever and ever, stayed with James his entire life.
Mom dies, obviously. Happy Valentine's Day, which means James is now left with workaholic Dad. But then as a small child, James meets Carrie at school, and not to exaggerate, but this child looks like a fucking model.
What's wrong, James? Nothing. Don't you like making Valentines? That's alright. You don't have to. We could just sit here. Besides, I like Easter much better than Valentine's Day. Don't you, James? On Easter, I get to wear my big straw hat and eat lots and lots of chocolate and paint eggs every color under the rainbow. Tell me, James. Tell me you like Easter best of all. Tell me, James. I like Easter best of all. Louder. I can't hear you. I like Easter best of all. I can't hear you.
After that day, they were the best of friends.
James likes to be dominated. Got it. We learned that James and Carrie were friends throughout school, throughout high school, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? We do get a scene of high school teenage Carrie. She's crying. She's upset about a boy. And we see high school teenage James. Still doesn't have blue eyes. James then punches the guy Carrie's crying about, and we see him back at home with the workaholic father who hasn't aged. But workaholic dad is actually kind of proud of James, and he's like, you know what? You have to fight for what you love. You have to go after it. You have to work hard and stuff. So he's kind of like proud of James for punching this kid, but honestly, all I could notice was in the background, there's this like royalty-free photo of grapes. Why do we have this? Buying a frame from IKEA and leaving in the photo that like comes with it would have been better than this fucking royalty-free image of grapes. I don't get it. Teenage Carrie comes over and they talk. And teenage James, who still doesn't have blue eyes, confesses that he loves her. He wants to be more than friends, and they kiss. All right. We like this. This is pretty cute. Nurse Matthew tells us that basically from that point on, they were inseparable. Like as a couple, they went away to college together. They were still dating and lived together like when they were in college. Then they moved back home and they got an apartment together.
Remember, James was a portrait photographer back then. And Carrie used to bake and sell pies for the local restaurants.
How the fuck did they afford rent? This reminds me of like every HGTV show where a couple is like looking to buy a house and they're like, oh, he's a stay-at-home dad and she braids rope for charity and their budget is $4 million. It's always the small rocks you least expect. We learned that Carrie was in the hospital for months. She was in a coma. She comes out of the coma. She has amnesia and she does not know who James is at all. Even though she had known him since she was a baby, it doesn't matter.
I was her nurse. We worked hard to get some of her memory back. But those past memories only seemed to agitate her. James was a stranger to her. After a while, she told him he didn't need to visit anymore. So we stayed away for a few weeks. But on the day she was released, so what's the first thing you're gonna do when you get out of here?
Go to the movies?
The movies.
Yes. You promised me when I took my first step you were going to take me to the movies.
That I did.
So I'm going to hold you to that, Matthew McGuire.
It's really the first thing you want to do.
A scary movie.
Okay, now I don't know if I can handle that.
Don't worry. I'll hold your hand. Come on, Matthew. I promise we'll have fun.
So you're saying, nurse, aka fake journalist Matthew, that you fucked your mentally disabled patient?
After that day, his heart shattered into a million pieces. It was fragile for a long time.
All thanks to you, Matthew. He brings Mary back to his house with his wife, Carrie, and their son. Mary interviews Carrie, but it's clear like she doesn't remember anything and she's kind of pissed off about being interviewed about James. The only thing she mentions is she does kind of have this like fleeting memory of a Valentine's Day when they were adults and there was this like kids Valentine's Day card on the mantle and it was like covered in glitter. Remember? End scene. Back at work, Mary gives the editor, like her current editor, her draft story and he doesn't like it. He says, you know, your heart's not in this. So he brings her into his office so we can get, you guessed it, another boring fucking flashback.
Once, long ago, when I was about your age, I had 2 girlfriends.
Okay, now I am interested. He explains how on one Valentine's Day, one of his girlfriends, Barbara, bought him this really expensive cashmere sweater and he was going to wear it and meet her parents that evening.
But I knew I could never wear that sweater.
Why? You didn't like it?
No, it was a lovely sweater. But it wasn't really for me. It was for Barbara, to make her feel better about herself.
Imagine how many shifts poor Barbara had to put in at the post office in order to be able to afford to buy a cashmere sweater for her boyfriend who is actively cheating on her. Then he explains his other girlfriend, Anne, baked him cookies for Valentine's Day, and that's how he knew he was meant to be with Anne.
And you know, it was at that moment that I really understood the true meaning of love. Here was a girl who put so much care and love into what she did for me that I could finally understand this simple truth. At the end of the day, what gives our lives meaning is how we are loved.
I still feel so bad for Barbara. She worked so hard to get that cashmere sweater. Hashtag justice for Barb. Aside from this time-wasting story, Editor Man wants Mary to put her own love story into this article. We still have 24 minutes left. Yay! Said no one ever. Next we see Mary's dad in his workshop. He's making this like shadow box thing for the wife for Valentine's Day, and he explains the flower in it she gave him when they first met like 30 plus years ago. How the fuck did this man keep this flower from like completely disintegrating? It doesn't matter. A song comes on the radio and Mary's like, oh, I really like this song. And the dad's like, well, we used to dance to it together when you were a kid. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna dance together to this song. It doesn't matter. Nothing fucking matters. At this point, I am well and truly losing the will to live. They dance and it fades to black. And just to put the knife in a little bit deeper, we get the fucking song. While she's taking the elevator back to her apartment, we run into Carl with his new girlfriend who has the hairstyle of a retired 66-year-old woman. Where the fuck do you even buy a wig like this? In her apartment, she starts throwing out their photos together, all three of them, while boyfriend looks on. Has the dog been inside this entire time? Who looked after the dog when she very clearly went out of town to interview Carrie? It doesn't matter. Literally nothing matters. We see James setting up a photo shoot in Paris and he starts texting Mary, and again, it looks like she's getting ready for bed and he looks kind of like early evening. Girlies, once again, this is not how time zones work. Apparently this takes place in New York City, so if we assume she's going to bed at like 10 p.m., that would make it like 4 a.m. in Paris. Say it with me. It doesn't matter. Also, the song in question plays over this entire scene. I hate the world and everyone in it. She then dreams about James, which I had a hard time watching this. So please enjoy. I love getting obsessed about a man I've never met or spoken to. What if he has a terrible accent? What if he smells? Next, Mary is at an art studio looking at all of James's photography. There's lots of like travel shit, you know, Savannah stuff with lions and whatever. But surprise, one of the photos is her. You guys ever use Picnic from like the early 2000s where you could edit your photos and stuff? This one gives me Picnic vibes. Then we see her on a motorcycle with that fucking song playing again. And we learn the guy is James's dad, his like workaholic, business obsessed dad. But he's retired now and he loves riding his motorcycle with James and like bonding with his son. Dad tells a story about how he was pretty absent in James's like adult life. But when James was in his 20s, the dad got really sick. Not like cancer sick, like he had the flu, but he calls James out of the blue and James comes over immediately and like cares for him and stuff. Because of course, James is perfect. There's literally nothing wrong with this man. How is he single? That's a good question. But the dad says, like, that's when I knew we could build a relationship together, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Everybody loves a little bit of daddy trauma. Hottie motorcycle dad drops Mary off at her apartment building and Carl is standing outside for some reason. What are the odds? With the fucking song playing. Carl is annoyed for some reason, maybe because Mary was with this hot guy on a motorcycle and he's currently dating a woman who buys her wigs from Goodwill. Back inside her apartment, Carl comes over with a rose. Don't like that. And they're gonna go out to dinner together for some reason, but they don't arrive together. Okay, I will concede we do get music that's not the song, but it's like this Japanese restaurant music. Racist or... I also love how they've been broken up for like 4 business days. But at this restaurant, she's like, oh, you have to try the sea urchin. It's so tender. And it's clear this is like a restaurant they wouldn't normally go to. They wouldn't normally have Japanese cuisine. Like she's like all worldly now. And Carl won't eat it, so she eats it. But we actually don't see her put it in her mouth. And then she's just like pretending to chew. Nobody wanted to eat the plastic sushi. While Carl is rambling on, she fantasizes about being at the restaurant with James. You know, the man she's never met. She finally cuts Carl off and is like, I'm really sorry, but you're just not the man for me. We're done for real. Then we see her finishing her article at work when a coworker leaves for the night.
The end.
Night, Mary.
Leaving?
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
Whew, I'm getting ready to spend another Valentine's Day alone.
You?
You seem surprised.
Well, I am.
Oh, it's been the same thing year after year. I think the last time I got a Valentine was when I was in 3rd grade.
Huh.
Night, Mary.
Wait. Happy Valentine's Day, Connie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mary.
Okay, it's obvious that she's re-gifting these chocolates, but I love this. This is cute. A little bit of self-pity, but I like it. Later that night, she's drinking with Victor, and we learn that tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and so tomorrow is the big day when she finally gets to meet James. And it's like, ooh, so nervous. But we do actually get a very cute speech.
I realized I was only with Carl because it was comfortable. And everyone expected Carl and I to be together, to get engaged, to get married, to have children, and I just figured since it was expected, it was right. Don't get me wrong, I like Carl, but it wasn't love.
Oh my God, yes, girl, this is great. I love it. Let's just end it here. We don't even need to meet James. Side note, she mentions that the article about love / James's profile is getting printed in her newspaper, not the fancy competitor newspaper that she was like trying to like sell it to or whatever. Okay.
Is that the Bugle?
Mm-hmm.
And love is opening our hearts to any possibility, no matter how unexpected.
Pause. I know we're almost there, and this literally does not matter. However, we saw her at work that night finishing her article and submitting it. Then she comes home and has drinks with Victor. Victor picks up a newspaper that is already in her house with the article in it. Sure. Then we see the other editor in the elevator and Mary pops in, was like, hey, did you see my article about the meaning of love? And he's like, yeah, I hate your style. It's too like rainbows and touchy-feely. But then he mentions that one of his writers is moving to Florida and basically like offers her the job. Okay, great. What's the salary, babe? Then we're back in her apartment. She needs to find an outfit to meet James in that night. We do get 2 dresses at the beginning, which I think these are both very cute. Very 2017 cute. But Victor hates them. But then she comes out in this dress with like thick tights and high boots, and for me, it's a no for me. But surprise, Victor loves it. This gay man knows this is not a look, but he's trying to sabotage her date. Not actually, but we see her run out to a taxi that has a California plate on it. Don't worry about it. California, New York City, they're basically the same thing. We get this tense driving montage because, oh no, Mary's going to be late. But really it's because we have 7 minutes left in this movie and nobody knows how to fill it. She gets out of the taxi early and she's like, I'm just gonna run the rest of the way. But when she finally gets to the bar, it doesn't really look like a bar to me. I don't know, this just looks weird. She sees her article about James on the table and she takes that to mean that James was already there and has since left because she was late. But girlie, you had his number this entire time. Could you not have just texted him that you were gonna be late? She goes up to the bar and basically has a meltdown in front of this poor kid. And she's like, was there a man sitting there, a really hot man? Like, where did he go? Do you know how serious this is? Like, calm down, babe. He's on minimum wage.
Listen, that guy is the reason that I found myself. Before I met him, I lived a life of caution, always second-guessing everything. I was a girl whose idea of a fun, wild night was sneaking a wine cooler into a 4 p.m. showing of Eat, Pray, Love.
I love Julia Roberts.
Everybody loves Julia Roberts.
Okay, shots fired. Having a wine cooler at a 4 p.m. movie showing sounds awesome.
Because of that amazing, handsome, loving, generous, kind man, I danced the tango. I jumped out of an airplane and I got a dog. Oh, jeez. You just let him walk out the door and walk out of my life. This is all my fault. You know what my problem is?
You like to talk to strangers?
Don't you get it? After all that searching for the story of James Fielding, the story I actually found was my own. I found myself. I found my strength, I found my happiness, and I found the man for me.
Lady, are you gonna order something?
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. James Fielding doesn't even know you exist.
And you know what? Fair point. This man knows literally nothing about Mary. He's not contacted her family, her loved ones, done literally any research into who this woman is. This is completely one-sided. I love it.
The truth is, I've fallen in love and found out that sometimes you fall in love with the most unexpected person at the most unexpected time. And you do the most unexpected things. You know what I mean?
I mean, I already have a girlfriend. Her name's Marisol, and she's really jealous, so I really don't want any trouble.
You know, at the end of the day, I've come all this way, and I finally found myself. And I'm left at the scariest part of my journey. Am I bold enough? Am I brave enough? Am I crazy enough to fall in love?
I think we're both crazy enough.
We see them on the train together afterwards and they're all lovey-dovey. You can't hear hardly anything because the audio, again, sucks ass.
Valentine's Day is almost over.
No. Still have 10 more minutes.
But she gives him his phone back and she's taken photos with all of the people that she's interviewed, which is actually pretty cute. Swiped over Carrie's new family pretty quick. His Valentine's Day present for her is, drum roll, that childhood Valentine's Day card. Buddy, you do not know this woman. That fucking song plays one more time like kicking a dying horse. They kiss and it fades to black. Well, everyone, we have made it through the recap. I am so sweaty, but we made it. As with all my recaps, we have 3 categories to rate: chemistry, plot, and overall enjoyment. For chemistry, our boy Entourage is very cutesy. He does the flirty eyes, but there are actually almost no scenes with the two of them together. The first time they meet, we get that tango sequence, which made me want to die. So for chemistry, I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5. They have the cutesy eyes at the end, but literally spend this entire movie apart. For plot, this was pretty dire, pretty boring. Again, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. The entire thing is basically flashbacks. This is the first time I've seen a Hallmark movie done in this format, and I never want to see it again. Now, for overall enjoyment, this one's tricky because everything kind of sucks, which means my enjoyment was higher. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 because it is stupid and ridiculous and cringe and embarrassing, and that's what I'm looking for in a bad movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a movie you'd like me to recap, do leave a comment down below. If you want to watch something else that I think is even more painful, how about this one, the worst Christmas movie I have ever seen. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!